Welcome to Mac Voices. This is the Talk of the Mac community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, it's been entirely too long since we've had one of my favorite companies on to discuss any of their products, BeLight Software, and we have Ray East here to talk about one of their very cool programs, ArtText. Ray, it's great to have you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks. Great to be here.
Yeah, it's been too long, and I want to lobby right now for you all to come back to the U.S. and to Macworld next year, because we just haven't seen you in so long.
Sure, that is something that we're actually thinking about this year, and we'll see how things work out, but we're hoping to be able to come.
I'll buy the drinks. I'm not sure that'll help make the decision, but every little bit helps.
I'll definitely tell the team.
Yeah, please. Ray, we haven't talked about ArtText. I'm not sure if we've ever talked about ArtText specifically on the show. You all have such a great stable of products. You've always been one of those go-to companies that if I have a need, I sort of want to see if you have something that can address it. ArtText, in my mind, is so cool because if I'm a Photoshop expert and I have a day and a half, I can create some really amazing effects. If I'm not a Photoshop expert or don't have a day and a half, I want to use ArtText. And so I'm going to let you tell us a little bit about ArtText. We're going to do a demo. But the exciting part of this is that at the end, we're going to tell folks how they can pick this up for free if they don't mind doing just this much work. So why don't you tell us all about ArtText and what we're about to see?
So when we first started developing ArtText, the thing that we wanted to do was basically give users an easy-to-use tool that they can use to create headings for flyers, for keynote presentations, for any kind of printing document that they have, as well as give them something, give more advanced users or web designers something that they can quickly create logos in, web buttons, web banners, and so on. We like to think of it as an easy alternative to Photoshop or to Illustrator. It's vector-based, right? We have a lot of different text effects, transformations, and so on. And aside from that, we also have a lot of vector icons, vector shapes, and so on. So without saying much more, why don't we go ahead and take a look at the program itself?
That sounds good. This is the fun part, because now we actually get to see what it does.
Right. So Chuck, as I said, the main purpose for ArtText is to create headings and so on. When you first open the program, you get the template gallery where you can find plenty of templates pre-designed by our designers. But again, like I said before, you also have buttons, icons, logos, and of course your recently opened projects. So let's go ahead and take just some kind of a heading. Let's find one. Let's take ArtText. All right, so this is basically the main interface of ArtText. And again, as I said before, it's not as scary as the first time you see either Illustrator or Photoshop. Basically, what you see down here in the left corner, these are our layers. So I'm actually going to take one and delete it, right? And you see that in a way. And double-clicking on one lets me change the text. Just put in there, "Hi, Chuck." Right. I'm going to delete this layer so it doesn't match me. Right, resize it. "Hi, Chuck." Again, as I said before, you don't only have text, right? You can click here, open up some shapes. Have some icons broken into categories. If you like Batman.
Absolutely. And I really like the idea that whatever the effect I've created is, or chosen, that then I can start dropping things into it and it maintains that style.
Right, of course. Yeah. And I'll show you more about that in just a second. Let me also show you the custom graphics that we have here. Aside from the things that the icons and so on that are included, we also have drawing tools, right? So basically, you can draw anything. You can draw anything you want. Square, circle, and so on. And also you can take different vector icons from the Finder as well, that you have on your own. So what you're talking about the style, right? That comes from the fill and the stroke. So right now we have plain color. It's our fill, and we can change that. And so any icon that we change this to will obviously have the same exact fill. And the same goes with the stroke down here. We can turn the stroke on or off. Add as many as we want. We can add another stroke like that. Purple. Let's go ahead and turn the stroke off, actually. Going back to the fill, we also have gradient fills, which is good for icons and buttons. Just choose a few different colors here. 1 second. Match a color there. Right, and as you see, we have 3 different colors here, and the third one can be turned off. And so we have a nice gradient, on our icon, which can be used to bring it out, to give it some form. Going down to the bottom, we also have shadow and glow. See here, we already have a shadow actually. And the blur, what I'm changing, changes obviously, the extent to which it's blurred. Change the distance and so on. The angle, or change it here if you want. Change the color of the shadow. Anyways, your usual controls. Aside from the fill controls, we also have textures, which is basically taking a photo and putting that inside of the shape. And again, you can use your own textures. You can use the ones that come with the program. It doesn't really matter, But the thing that we really like here is the different materials that we have, which have some form to them. And there are tons of them, and they're all split up into categories: artistic, glass, for example, glass materials, plastic, and so on. And again, you can change everything about these, right? As for now, it's pretty bumpy, right? It has has a lot of form to it, but we can also change the depth, make it a little more flat, or make it more rounded. Change the color if we need to, so on. The direction of the light, which is very important, as well as change the bevel. Right, so let me go ahead and open up a different template, and let's take a look at the geometry that we have here, the different transformations that we have for text. Let's go ahead and type in something again. Hi, Chuck. Change the size of that down to, let's say, 45. 45. All right, let's go ahead and... So this is all in the Effects tab, which is basically, the fill, the shadow, stroke. When you go to the geometry, this is where ArtText can get interesting again, especially for headings, for keynote presentations, printing documents, and so on. Basically, we have different types of transformations here that can be controlled. So you can curve it, so on. And again, when users are using this, they don't have to think, in terms of numbers. They don't have to think in terms of, 20 pixels or 30 pixels or, 90-degree angle and so on. They just, they just play around with it, right? And you just take your mouse, see what the effect you get is, and when you find what you like, you just use it. So basically, that is it for the geometry. Obviously, I'm not going to show all of it because, as I expect, I guess all of you viewers there will soon have your own free version of your own free copy of ArtText. Let me go ahead and show you a little bit about logos and icons here. Now this icon is very similar to the icon for ImageTricks, which is our freeware image editor. And if you look below, there are a lot of different layers here. And anybody who's ever worked with Photoshop or Illustrator knows that layers and groups, they're very important. They're very much important for creating icons, right? Because let's see here, let's take a look at what we have. So let's try to take one of these shapes and delete it and see what we get, right? So it looks like we have, as at the end of this magic wand is one layer, right? The handle which is deleted is another. We also have the shadow. So again, ArtText isn't just about creating simple illustrations or simple headers that consist of one layer or two layers. You can take this with a little creativity. You can create complete app icons for either for Mac apps or for iOS apps. Same goes with logos. So basically, that's it. That's ArtText.
He says that's it, like it really is it. I have to tell you, the most dangerous thing I think about ArtText for me is that I start to play, and then I can't get out because there's so many options and so many things. It's like, well, okay, what is it like with this texture or that color or this bevel or that light? And it's a nice problem to have. It's certainly one that's not a detraction. It just means that you have to discipline yourself to not try to create 500 versions of the same thing. Because
right.
You will want to. It's just that much fun to see how great the graphics look that it produces.
Right. Again, this is the basic overview of the program. Just to give you an idea of what you can do with it. But we do have a lot of other features here that I hadn't shown. And for any of you who are going to take advantage of this giveaway, get your own version for free. I definitely encourage you to go to our site and check out the video tutorials that we have there. To learn more about, getting around the interface, learning more about how to work with layers within ArtText, as well as some of the blending modes and so on.
Ray, I think now everyone knows why I'm a fan of ArtText, and I've used it to spice up presentations. I have to tell you, I just yesterday saw a presentation that was done for a bank that was this thick. It was done in PowerPoint, and it looked like it was done in PowerPoint. If I could have just had a couple of the effects, a couple of the pieces of text transformed the way you just transformed what you did, it would have just made it more interesting. It would have broken it up, and I think would have gotten a lot more attention. So that's why ArtText excites me. Mm-hmm. So right now you all are running a promotion that will let our listeners and viewers pick up ArtText for free with just a little bit of work.
Right, Chuck. Yeah, this week we're giving away ArtText for free, or should I say almost for free. Actually, what users need to do is just come to our site, which you'll have a link to. Basically, you just need to tweet about the giveaway, follow BeLight Software, and get your own copy for free. And what we're trying to do is really trying to expand, the way we interact with our customers through Twitter, through Facebook, through Google+, and this is our way of doing that.
Ray, I know sometimes these kind of promotions can generate some controversy. Before I forget, I want to ask, what is the retail price of ArtText?
Well, ArtText for now is going at $39.99 on our site.
Okay, so $40 US. Mm-hmm. So you've got a $40 program that for the price of a tweet and a follow, you can get for free. And hopefully the demo that Ray just did will give you an idea of the capabilities of this. I don't participate in these kind of things usually simply because I don't believe in them. But that's because I don't believe in the software. And hopefully letting you see what the software does, as Ray has done, will encourage you to recognize just what kind of quality this is. I don't know if my voice means anything, but I really love ArtText. I use it a lot for different projects. So, Ray, I believe the folks the way they start is to go to a specific link. There's no other way to get it. So we'll have it here on the screen. I'll also have it in the show notes on the Mac Voices site, so you can just go click, and that's how they get started with the process?
Yeah, that's correct. Uh-huh.
Okay, so just follow that link, and you'll be on your way to getting a copy of ArtText for free. And Ray, even though we've just done the demo, what's the website so they can go to yours and find out all the details about ArtText that maybe we couldn't get to?
Right. Just go to www.belightsoft.com/arttext.
Great. Ray, it's a pleasure. I certainly hope that I get to see you in January in San Francisco at Macworld, but if not, come back anytime.
Thanks for having us.
Folks, I'm Chuck Joyner. This is Mac Voices, the talk of the Mac community, and we will be back again soon with more. Thanks for listening. Mac Voices TV is part of the Mac Voices Group and a member of Mac Level 10.